So the South African history curriculum is changing. Thank you to the Department of Education. And I'll just give you a rundown as to what is going to be added according to the drafted document and what's going to be taken away. You guys still have until the 30th to provide your input on the drafted new history curriculum. So if you care about education and history like myself, it's very important that you give your voice and input to this. The VERTS team has been working on this for over 10 years, and actually they were concerned that this was going to go away due to the new Minister of Basic Education being part of the DA. But we know since April that this is not going to go away. It's actually going to go forward. So Molweni Bahlali, without further ado, let's get to what's going to be added to the new curriculum. So what will be taught is African history and civilizations. And this is going to include pre-colonial societies, kingdoms, and trade networks. The ancient civilization in Mali, Great Zimbabwe, blah, blah, blah. So basically everything that we don't know about ourselves before the other race came and tried to take over. Another focus is going to be on local and community history, which is expected to encourage learners to engage with heritage and oral traditions. And basically like Xhosa lineage, where Xhosa people come from, what did they do in ceremonies like burial and marriage before colonization, blah, blah, blah. And then they're also going to focus on colonization and its impact on Africa. Not just Jan van Riebeeck came to South Africa. What did Jan van Riebeeck come here and do that disturbed the status quo of the people that were living here? How did this affect us going forward? And how does this tie in with the whole global sphere? Another thing included is the South African liberation struggle, with a deeper focus on internal resistance and diverse voices. We're going to learn from the ground up. How did it affect communities? How were the people living through apartheid affected? And how did they feel? And what did they do to counter the apartheid regime, which I'm very excited about, and I hope they focus on the 80s. They're also going to focus on democracy and post-1994, with exploration around governance, rights, and ongoing changes, including the socio-economic standing of Black people currently. Another thing that's changing is sort of like the methodology that they're going to be teaching history with. They're going to focus on interpreting history. And last but not least, what they're going to remove is Eurocentric discovery and narratives presented without African context. Basically, we're not going to focus on the history of the West and what they did. We're going to focus on bottom up. What were we doing in and around the time that all of these things were happening from an African context? And I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to see this new curriculum. I really wish I was involved, to be quite honest, because the reason why I started this channel was because of my need to learn about my history, firstly as a Xhosa person and as a Black person in South Africa and then in Africa. So shout out to the team over at VERTS and shout out to the Department of Education for this. Thank you guys.